Hey guys, welcome back to another video on the channel. You know, it's your boy, and today we got a manga / anime haul. So yeah, what that means is that I'll be talking about what I read and what I watched and only completed because I can talk about all the seasonal stuff that I've watched, but everything I've completed and everything that I've read this month. If you want, below, if you want me to talk about the series that I actually am watching, like currently in the current season, or like I haven't finished yet, my progress, I can do that. I'll do that probably for next month, but for now I just want to focus on everything I've finished completely at this point. So yeah, first we're going to be talking about the anime that I finished this month of August, and then the ones that I read, the manga that I read for this month, digitally and physically. So yeah, let's get on with the anime, of course. Okay, so for the anime, I've actually been going on a little shoujo craze. I've been wanting to watch and like experience more shoujo because my shoujo catalog honestly is kind of lacking, not gonna lie. And so I had like one of my friends who was like into shoujo was like, hey, I want to watch more shoujo, give me some recommendations. She gave me a bunch to watch, a couple to read. I haven't gotten to the reading ones yet, but the ones that she gave me to watch, I actually watched 2 series. One of them I only watched the first season, the other one I actually completed, and I pretty much enjoyed them. So yeah, you'll be seeing more shoujos on these videos because I'm gonna be in a little bit of a shoujo grind anime wise. So yeah, the first thing that I watched was Kimi no Todeke, aka From Me to You. I've only seen season 1 of this. There are 2 seasons of this. There is a long-running manga. I'm pretty sure it's completed, but I've only seen season 1, and to be honest, from what I've been watching recently, it's a breath of fresh air. I really enjoyed the whole thing about it. Just this innocent girl, her name was Sadako, or Sawako. I think her name is Sawako. The reason why I mess it up is because she's named either or in the anime, because Sadako or Sawako, I'll have it here, is based off the girl from The Ring, I believe? Ring or The Grudge, one of the two. And basically the way she's built, she's dark hair, black, pretty lanky for her size, pretty tall, and everyone basically just finds her really creepy, even though she's trying just to be really nice. The series is very wholesome, and I really enjoyed it. The relationship in the series is pretty pleasant for what it is. My grope with like romance series is I hate when 2 people like each other by like episode or chapter in the beginning, whatever, like chapter 20 or like episode 4, like they already like each other. Like it's one of the reasons why I don't like Nagatoro. I hate it when they obviously like each other already, but they just don't admit it. But the thing with this one though is that they actually kind of touch on the topic about halfway through the series. Like the main male guy brings up dating to the female character, and she's like, iffy on that. But obviously she's like, she doesn't realize what he meant, like, do you want to date? It's basically like, what are your thoughts on dating? So they crossed that line already, so that's pretty good. So I'm basically not gonna be in that rut anymore. Again, I hate that trope. That trope is like one of the tropes that I hate the most. Probably one of the reasons why I kind of enjoy Uzaki-chan is that, I think I mentioned this before, is that they really don't really like each other in the beginning. At least the main male character doesn't like Uzaki at the beginning, and then it gradually leads to them liking each other, and probably they date later. They probably haven't even dated yet. Who knows? But I enjoyed the gradual, like, he just finds her kind of annoying. The thing with Nagatoro is that they wind up liking each other by like episode 3 or 4, and it's just really annoying. So yeah. But Kimi no Todeke, I really enjoyed it. The music is really good. The characters are great. The entire cast is really good. The main 2 the love interests. The third girl who they try to do a love triangle with is a girl that you really don't like. So yeah, I really enjoy when there is a love triangle, but it's kind of obvious who you want to win because they make the third person insufferable for that purpose, and I really enjoy that. So that's really good. The friends are really good. The freaking teacher Appian is freaking hilarious and stuff, and like you'll just find, if you've never seen a shoujo, I probably would recommend this one. It's kind of easy to go into, easy to digest. The dialogue is really cute for what it is, because it's like they're in high school and stuff, and like it just works. The music is really good. It's like the opening and the ending songs are like they're stuck in my head sometimes. Not gonna lie, but yeah. And overall, really good. I'm going to be watching season 2 pretty much, probably the next series I'm going to be watching and trying to complete. So you'll probably see season 2 and what I think of that for the month of September. But yeah, from me to you. Okay, so the next thing is the next JoJo that she recommended, which I actually completed like a couple days ago. And that's Lovely Complex. Lovely Complex is a series about a very tall girl. She's 5'8", so basically my height, 5'8", 5'7.5", 5'8", whatever. Basically, she's a really tall girl, and the main love interest is a short boy, and basically is really like old stereotype, like, oh, this is not gonna work. I'm too tall, he's too short, but the girl winds up falling for him, and it's really, I didn't expect this going into it, because if you read the synopsis, it's on Crunchyroll, by the way. Kimi no Todoke is also on Crunchyroll. If you read the synopsis for it, it only really gives you the synopsis for the first episode. So it's really weird, because the first episode is like, oh, they're not interested in each other. The goal is they make a bet, which is like, hey, whoever winds up getting a boyfriend or girlfriend first wins, and the loser has to get them something. I think the guy will get like basketball shoes for his games because he's a basketball player. The girl gets like her favorite video game or something like that. And basically, when I read the synopsis, I thought I was getting that. I thought the whole series was going to be that, and then eventually they fall for each other. But I think by like episode like pretty early on, the girl winds up falling up for him, and yeah. And so I honestly thought, again, it's going to be one of those tropes where, great, I have to wait for this relationship to go on, and then they're going to wind up liking each other and then not, or whatever. But they actually tackle it pretty like towards the middle of the series. Like, there is developments in the relationship, and then basically it blossoms. And then I also kind of hate when relationships are made at the end of the series, because you want to see how do they work after the relationship. And so they actually do this. The relationship is, spoiler, is set not at the end, but somewhere into the series, and then you get to see them as a couple. And yeah, it basically just goes through their whole high school life. It's pretty fast paced, because like they go through like 3 years of high school in just 24 episodes. But yeah, it's made by Toei, who, now that I think about it, like, you got that, One Piece, Zatch Bell, I believe, is also a Toei thing. They're really killing it in like the early 2000s. But yeah, it's really good. The opening 2 is like immaculate. Everyone's got drip. Look at the drip, look at the drip, look at the drip. And then the art is like in the second ending song, which I enjoy. That's probably like my favorite song out of all the things in there. And so the art for the manga, I believe that's the art for the manga, is there, and it looks pretty good. And I honestly wouldn't mind reading this. I've heard that the anime kind of covers everything, but leaves out like a couple scenes that aren't really that important. But I think I'd rather just read it eventually, soon down the line. Not immediately, but down the line I'll read it and almost likely enjoy it. So yeah, Lovely Complex. Okay, now done with the shoujos and into the last thing I finished this month, and which was a shonen. And by shonen I mean this dude up here. Yep, I finished Gintama. Not the entire thing. I've only finished the original series, meaning season 1, the first 200 or whatever episodes, 201, I believe. 201 or 203. 201, Reborn, which I finished like a month or two ago with 203. But I cannot say enough good things about Gintama. The thing is that I want to make a video soon about really good series that are really hard to recommend, because this is one of those series. It's just hard to recommend to somebody because of the references. They reference a bunch of things. You have probably heard it been described as like anime Robot Chicken or anime Family Guy, which is like, oh, they reference all the animes or whatever. And yes, they do. But the thing is that they also tackle like pop culture at the time. Like a bunch of like Japanese culture is talked about at the time. They even talk about like American culture. There's a parody of Will Smith or Barack Obama. I think it's Will Smith, because the series is kind of early, even though it ends at like 2010, the first original series. But there's like a whole parody and stuff that like you see like Jason, like horror movie stuff. And yeah, obviously the anime influence is there. They reference anime all the time. Literally the first scene of the first episode of the anime is a conversation between Gintoki, the main character of Gintama, and then Ichigo of Bleach. So yeah, that's, you know what you're getting into. And it is pretty long. 201 episodes is a big commitment. I would recommend, if you're watching this, take it in strides. Don't rush binge, because you will get bored at times. It's a story where if you have some free time, put it on, watch a couple episodes, it'll be good. But when it gets like really good to like the serious stuff, like Yoshiwara in Flames is like the big arc in the first season, you will most likely be on the edge of your seat. It's one of the series that have made me on the verge of tears and made me laugh in the same episode, because yeah, the creator knows how to do it well. Also, the creator is a monkey in the anime, probably in the manga, this guy. But yeah, I am looking forward to season 2, aka continuing it. I decided that I'm going to be watching / continuing it the moment I finish all my other things that are on my watch list. So like I'm rewatching the original Higurashi, so I can watch the new series. I'm watching like the Danganronpa animes because I want to finally get into the third game. Ouran is something that has been always like, I stop and go with Ouran, so eventually I'll get into that again, finish that. I just want to finish all the short ones that are completed that I have watched, finish those. And so basically the only thing I have to worry about is Gintama, a series that I'll talk about next month that I'm starting. And yeah, you'll be like, what are you doing? Why are you starting this now? It's hella long. And then my seasonals. So those are going to be my main priorities. So yeah, Gintama. I can't recommend it enough, but then it's hard to recommend because, yeah, reasons. But yeah, I'll say that for another video. Okay, so now that we finished the anime, those are the only animes that I've seen for this month that I've completed. I've seen more, again, but the ones that I've completed. We're going to be going on to the manga. And so I have 4 mangas, actually, 4, that I finished digitally. And so I'll be running them through. I'm going to go with the 2 that I didn't catch up with, but I got pretty much good into. I might have talked about this before because I had the volumes previously in the previous video, or not. I might have cut in that video, but I read up to up to chapter 23 of Spy Family. I currently don't have the volumes because I didn't want to bother, because Spy Family is part of Jump Plus, which is like pretty much in their big boom right now. But the thing with Jump Plus is that the creators kind of have their own freedom to like post whenever they want to. So we've pretty much caught up to the Japanese release, I believe. Then like we have 2 more volumes left to pre-order for Spy Family, and literally after that, caught up to the Japanese versions. So yeah, they don't want to collect those. I rather much read them online whenever I can. And I'll probably wind up doing that for the Jump Plus series until like there's one that like really catches my eye that I'm like, all right, I want to collect this afterwards, which will probably be Chainsaw Man 2 whenever that decides to go on Jump Plus eventually. But yeah, Spy Family is about a spy. I like to call him Twilight. I know he has a whole name, but we'll call him Twilight. And basically, he's the best spy around. No one knows what he looks like. And he's on a mission to basically infiltrate this one guy who's part of the school. And basically, his mission requires him to build a family. So he has a little kid, Anya, best character. And basically, they have to find a wife. And basically, everyone has their own secret. Like I said, Twilight is a spy. The girl has her own thing, and then basically the wife is something else. And basically, they try to hide that they're this thing. The girl is the only person that knows who everyone is. It's spoiler why, but yeah, basically, it's just, yeah. It's hard to explain without spoiling it, but it's pretty much fun. It's a series where you literally just pick up a chapter and just have fun enjoying it and reading it. It's pretty good. The art is like really, really good for solid. It's just hard to explain the series without kind of spoiling stuff, but yeah. I've read up to the part where they get a dog. The dog arc, as I like to call it. And it was probably called something else, but I call it the dog arc because that's when the dog is introduced, and basically I stopped there. And it's a really good series. It's very popular right now, and I can't recommend it enough. Everyone seems to like it. Freaking Volume 3 flew off the shelf so bad that it's like November is when they're going to reprint Volume 3, and yeah, that'll take forever. So yeah, Spy Family. The other series that I didn't complete but got pretty far ahead into was Undead Unluck. Undead Unluck is a series about a zombie and a girl who her power is she's just very unlucky. You touch the girl, and then depending on what kind of interaction you have with her, determines your luck or your lack thereof. So the zombie, his name is Andy, is basically, hey, my goal is to die. You're probably my only ticket to do so. I want to know how it's like. So you're coming along with me just so I can die. So it's like, this is something that's really booming in Weekly Shonen Jump. And to be honest, I didn't really like it at the beginning. It wasn't my thing. Like, the art is like, okay. There's a character kind of introduced into the series, which is like, the moment that character came on the screen, it was very like out of field and just didn't fit at all, in my opinion. And the character's brought back later to where I stopped reading. But yeah, I just never really got the hand of it. I really never got the gist of it, because like, the power system is really cool. I will say they don't really have powers. They just negate things, and that causes their powers. So yeah, I stopped at the autumn arc. So like the next couple arcs are like divided by seasons. And the first one was the autumn arc. I stopped there, which is probably my favorite arc. At the beginning, I didn't like the arc at all, because they literally, I mentioned Kimi no Todeke. They kind of parody that series, because they do a Kimi no Todeke is from me to you. That's what it translates to. They do a parody where it's from you to me. So there's a mangaka that writes from me to you, and it's like, I get it, kind of cheesy, but they literally break the fourth wall, and the main characters make Undead Unluck into a series, and basically they try to get a published situation. Yeah, it's like, it's the first time it kind of breaks the fourth wall, and it's really out of place. But the second half of the arc is actually pretty good. I actually did enjoy the second part of the arc, and the way it ends is actually pretty nice. And I believe the next arc is winter. I believe it's autumn and then winter. So it should be the winter arc next, and I'm pretty sure by September I'll catch up, and probably my opinion has changed. But so far, Undead Unluck, it's just okay. I preferred Hardboiled Cop and Dolphin more, and that got canceled sadly. But I preferred that a lot more than this, but this one is the one that boomed. So yeah, I'll take what I can get. So yeah. Okay, so the next two series that I read digitally I actually am up to date with. The first one is Chojin X. Chojin X is by the same creator as Tokyo Ghoul. I could talk about Tokyo Ghoul another time. I have so many things to say about it. But yeah, Chojin X, I believe, didn't start off that well for me. There are a lot of similarities to Tokyo Ghoul. Not really for the detriment of good for it, because like, small spoiler, a female attacks the main character in Tokyo Ghoul. Same thing happens in Chojin X. It really happens like chapter 5 or something. And so it's just like, this series is going to follow two separate main characters. You get introduced to the first one like at the first pages of the first volume, and then it cuts to the second main character. And basically where I've read it up to, it's just chapter 7, I believe. They've met up. They actually meet each other, and basically I'm pretty sure they're going to be like a duo or whatever. So yeah. The thing I will say though is that I hate the trope of where a person becomes supernatural. They infused into them. Some sort of supernatural thing is infused, and basically they have to leave their own life. So like, I really hope, because where it stopped, it's like kind of hinting to like, yeah, this guy is stuck in a certain place, but we'll find out if he gets to go live with his family or not. If not, it's gonna be like, oh, because I hate when they just introduce people. Like, an example I can give is like Jujutsu Kaisen. When Yuji is with the occult club, they're literally just there for the first episode, and just like, oh, they're just throwing away characters because Yuji leaves to the academy. So yeah, something like that. I don't like that trope at all, and hopefully they don't really do that trope at all, and the kid can go to his family. Because yeah, I have a clear favorite between the two. I do like the aesthetic of the main character, which is probably going to be the main guy, the aesthetic of him. But the other main character, she is actually, I think it's a little girl. Her chapter, which is like chapter 2 or 3, I believe, which is like her standalone chapter, is like really fun. It's just like wacky and whatever, and like it's just like rarely unexpected coming from the creator of Tokyo Ghoul. It's just really different, if I can say that. And yeah, and so we'll see how the series goes. Do I expect better? Yeah, because I enjoyed Tokyo Ghoul, but I didn't enjoy Re, so it could be either or in my opinion. But yeah, I'll keep reading it whenever they come out. And my read so far has been okay. I've been enjoying it, so yeah, showed you next. Alright, and the last series that I need to talk about digitally is a series that pretty much has blown up in the manga world recently, at least in digital world. Not Digimon, obviously, huh? It is going to be Dandadan. So, Dandadan is basically the biggest series currently in Jump Plus. Again, the same sector as like Spy Family. I believe, like I said, Chainsaw Man 2 is going to be on there. I think Kaiju number 8, which is something I need to read soon, is on there. Those are all booming, and I feel like Dandadan is like the newest fad, and basically, yeah. I believe there's like 21 chapters at the moment of recording. I've caught up to them. My opinion, a lot of people blew it up from like chapter 1, and the first arc is just okay. The first arc was okay. It's really fast in the beginning. A lot of the stuff just happens in the first chapter alone, and you're just like, wow, this is a lot to take in, but like, a lot of it lands, a lot of it doesn't. The art is really nice, I will say. There's just something to the art in the Jump Plus series that are just like, they're just doing it for me. The art department is probably like the reason why I kind of stuck to this after the first arc, because the art is really good, especially like the creatures and the monsters and like the aliens that they do and stuff. And but I didn't really enjoy the first arc. It was just like, it was like, okay, it's like kind of raunchy or whatever. The second arc, which is the Silky arc, I believe, Acrobatic Silky, I enjoyed that a lot. I really like that. The new character introduced in that arc, though, is like, he's more to be desired in my opinion, but what are you gonna do? Hopefully it gets better. It's only gonna go up from here because everyone's loving this series, so yeah. And basically it follows this girl and this guy. They believe in the occults, but in different ways. One of them believes in aliens, other one's in ghosts, and basically they're like, hey, you check out what I believe in, and I'll show you that it's real. I'll go check out what you believe in and prove that it's fake. And basically, I won't say much. You can kind of figure out what it entails. Again, there's a lot that happens, and yeah, it's blowing up. So like, if you know about it, you most likely have read it. And yeah, again, there are some characters I really enjoy, like the Granny character is really fun. I enjoy her a lot. The main duo is like okay, they can improve, but they're okay for now. And yeah, I recommend it because the second arc is like, in my opinion, really good. First arc is like, I can see why people like it, but it just wasn't for me because it was just like, I guess I sort of saw the appeal, but it didn't hit me till like the second arc basically. So yeah, Dandadan, it'll go up from here, pretty much. Yeah, just if you're interested, go read it. Okay, so the final things I'm going to be talking about is what I got physically that I read. And the first thing I'm going to be talking about was actually something you saw in my last haul, and that was Volume 1 of Mashal. I actually read this, and yeah, like I said before, it's basically just Harry Potter One Punch Man or Black Clover. Throw Black Clover in there, like I just said in my last video, and I really enjoyed it. Again, I've heard that it kind of just gets kind of stale, but I enjoyed the first volume. I'll collect more. It'll probably get stale for me, who knows, but I enjoyed this for what it was. And like I said, the art isn't amazing, but they have moments of flash and yeah, pizzazz, and you know, all this spell, Wingardium Leviosa and stuff like that. But yeah, Mashal was really fun to read and just sit down. I just read it on a train ride, and I literally just finished during the entire train ride. And yeah, I pretty much liked it, and I hope to see where it goes from here. And hopefully the people that say that it's just like kind of repeats the same thing, hopefully it doesn't, but we'll see. Again, I think Volume 2 literally comes out in September, so I'll be picking that up at least. So yeah, Mashal. Okay, so the next two series are actually the last two series that I'm going to be talking about are from the same creator, and I have mixed feelings on both. Very positive towards one, very negative towards the other, and I'm pretty much gonna talk about both, and I'll start with the one that I think is a big positive, and that's actually a series that's already finished. And that series is actually Gans. This is Omnibus 6. So you can see I have all the other omnibuses on there. I have Omnibus 6 that I actually finished reading. I read this at the beginning of the month, and well, Oku is someone that I really enjoy their work, because I'm reading Gantz. I finished Inuyashiki's anime, which is probably like my favorite Oku work. And I'm currently reading this current series, which I'm going to be talking about in a little bit. If you know, you know. And basically, Gantz is something where it's like pretty much a cult classic. Everyone who's watched it or read it has really enjoyed it. And well, at the beginning I was just like, it's really like a lot of stuff wouldn't fly today in the landscape of this. And basically it was kind of like crap in the beginning because there was just a lot of bad things that just happen and occur. But eventually I think this is the arc where I kind of start flipping on this, or arc. This is the omnibus, or the omnibus 5 actually, because that's the beginning of that arc, which is the girlfriend arc. I'm not gonna get into spoilers, but the girlfriend arc is really where I kind of enjoyed the series. Like I realized, oh, the write is really good because the way it leads up to this, all the story, it just works, and yeah, it's pretty good. There's a lot of loose ends at the moment. It is a complete series. At the moment of reading, there's a lot of loose ends because there's a lot of things that are really bad that happened that haven't been addressed. The big thing that everyone knows that if you've read Gantz, there's a big thing that happens that is very in poor taste and wouldn't fly today. Like, it's not good at all. And basically, a lot of questions because this thing happens and it isn't really addressed, at least to the point where I got to. Hopefully it's addressed later on because it's a really big thing, and like I'm surprised no one in the group has basically complained about it. Basically, Gantz is a series where people die, and before death they are sent to a room in Tokyo, and there is a big giant black ball named Gantz, or Gantz, however you pronounce it. And basically the goal is you must eliminate a target, and the moment you are eliminating them, you'll be transported back. You get transported in and back or whatever, and then you will be assigned an amount of points based on how well you did for that day. The goal, reach 100 points. Reach 100 points, you can basically have freedom, or whatever you like to, as they explain later in the series. But there is a thing that happens in, I believe, Omnibus 4 or 5, which is like, not good. And basically they haven't targeted that yet, and I really hope that they get to, because it's a really big elephant in the room that no one has mentioned it before. It's a complete series. It's like at 300 something chapters. Omnibuses are 3-in-1s. I calculated it, and I'm pretty sure it'll stop at like 12. We'll probably go to Omnibus 13. I think Omnibus 13, in my opinion, will probably just be Gantz G, which is a spin-off series, which is basically, I think they turn every character into a girl, and there's similar events, something like that. And so I'm pretty sure that'll be its own omnibus, so they can have 13, because I'm pretty sure Gantz and the number 13 kind of work well with each other. So yeah, and I'm really interested to see where it goes. The process of getting these out in America is like, it takes a while. It's like a couple months for the next omnibus, and like, yeah, again, a lot of people will probably think omnibuses are not great because the whole chunky thing, but I actually don't mind it. I've kind of found the way to like read omnibuses, in my opinion, and so far, like, none of them have creased. So yeah, Gantz. All right, now the last series. It's another Oku work, and it's Gigant number 2. Gigant, or Gigant, or whatever you want to call it, I don't know how it's pronounced, is about a series about a boy who wants to be a movie director. And basically, he is very infatuated with the girl on the cover. I'm not going to say why, because it's kind of gross, but yeah. And basically, this girl has the ability to turn into a giant for some unknown reason. It's kind of known because it's a spoiler, but she basically gets the power to turn into a giant. I read volume 1 a while back, and I thought it was okay. It wasn't that bad, and I was actually interested to see where it goes from here. I currently have all the volumes that are currently available in English physically. And it's a good idea that I got that, because honestly, if I just had volume 2, after what I just read, I probably would have just dropped this. Yes, this is like really bad. The context in this manga volume right here, volume 2, like I haven't read the other ones. I'm probably going to read them soon. The context that happens in just this single volume alone is just terrible. I can see why people have dropped it. There's been videos on YouTube about people talking about the series and like, they really like it or they really hate it. And this right here shows me why people don't like the series at all. And so, yeah. Oku has this weird thing where if he wants you to not like a character, he can very much easily make you not like that character. Like in Gantz or Gantz, he can make you not like the main character. He can make you not like the side characters. It's pretty easy for him to make you not like somebody. The thing with this though is that it's pretty easy to get you to not like the main character, because the main character, what he does in the beginning of this volume is just childish. Yes, I know he's a high schooler, but come on, dude, it's freaking garbage that what you do to this freaking girl. And I get so much into this, but yeah, it sucks. And then it progresses and progresses, and this girl winds up, you're supposed to feel for her, Chie, Papiko, as she's named for other reasons. Papiko basically does a whole 180 by the end, and basically I don't care for her at all at this moment. I don't. I feel like I should be sympathetic to her, but the fact that what the main character does with her to get to the point, and then it progresses the way it does, it just sucked. Wasn't good. And like I said, I'm glad I have 3 and 4 with me, so that I can freaking read the rest. I have 3, 4, and 5 because 5 was the last one, but I'm really glad that I have those physically, because if I didn't, I honestly could have just seen myself just selling this in volume 1 on its own, because it is just, this volume sucked real bad. I don't want to recommend this because it's not good. Maybe the other volumes will probably be better. You know what I'll do? Because I really enjoyed Gantz and Inuyashiki, I'll read the rest of these that I have physically, and then my next manga and anime vlog, I'll tell you if I recommend this, because at this moment it's a hard no. This sucked real bad, and I hope it gets better, because yikes. Yeah, that's it. That's all on Gigant. Ugh. And yeah, sorry to put it down on a downer, but yeah, that's the end of my vlog. Tell me in the comments, what have you read or what have you watched this month or till now? What are you currently watching? What have you finished recently? Let me know. Let's have a good discussion down below. And then do all the things that they do in YouTube land at the time, because you know, they change stuff all the time. So yeah, if you enjoy what I do, I talk about anime, manga, and anything else that I can, when I can, and whenever I can, because it's my channel. And yeah, and do all the things, like I said. And yeah, see you when I see you.